Welcome back. We appreciate y'all showing up all the time, by the way. It's Kasim and John.
Hey.
We're doing this every Tuesday. Is today Tuesday?
Yes.
Yeah.
It seems like one big day, but this week, but yeah.
It bleeds together. We're going to pick a different industry every week, and we're going to go industry by industry and teach you how we do Google Ads for specific industries. So last week we did attorneys, and this week we're going to do medical clinics, healthcare providers. And this is great big shout out to, and Melissa, I'm so sorry. I don't know if it's Melissa or Militia, but forgive me for not pronouncing it correctly. We want to thank you for being such an amazing fan. This was your request, so we thought we'd fulfill it and as quickly as possible. That said, let's dive into it, right, Joe? We got actually an amazing case study. This is one of our longest running PPC clients ever.
Yeah. And it's what's kind of cool about it too is it's actually it's in an industry that covers a lot of topics that I think this is really, really applicable for, because with any sort of, medical clinic, you're going to be most likely dealing with some sort of pain. And this is actually a pain clinic that also does spine surgery. Like, you're covering a lot of bases. And so I think that we have a really diverse account to share, and some of the nuances that I think that a lot of agencies or possibly people that would be running an ad campaign like this may not have thought about. And that's because there's really three major areas that you're going to be focusing on. One is going to be who you are as a clinic. So pain clinic, chiropractic, dentist office, whatever it may be. You want to cover that base first, obviously, and I think that's kind of where a lot of people stop. It's like, okay, well, we're a pain clinic, and so people like pain clinic near me or medical clinic near me. That's pretty good bottom of the funnel, but you're missing a whole other area possibly. And so I want to kind of walk through some of the ways that we attract a wide variety of clients, and maybe something that you really didn't think of. So DSA, that is going to be a dynamic search ad. That is going to be absolutely what you should start with. Just as a staple. Like, if you're going to run like 5 campaigns, DSA should be one of them.
Can I pause you there, John? Mm-hmm. DSA is maybe most applicable if they have really robust website content, right? So if they don't have robust website content, it might not work out for them quite as well.
Well, you don't have to necessarily have the most robust, but I would imagine if you're a medical field, you're going to have a lot of services or explanations about the services that you offer.
Right. So basically, that's what I'm saying. They need to have that at a minimum, and if they don't, DSA is not going to.
If you got like a 1-page campaign that says like, hey, fill out our form, it's not going to work for you. Yeah. But if you have like areas on your website where it's like pain management or chiropractic services or I have no idea. I'm trying to think
therapy, platelet therapy, stem cell therapy, adrenal fatigue. Yeah. Exactly. And I think one of the things that worries me a little bit is some of these medical providers, they have like that 1 page that has 50 bullet points saying we do all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And that alone, is that gonna work with DSA, or are they gonna need individual pages for their major practice areas?
It could. And actually, I did a video about this. I think it just went live either like a couple days ago, but there's a video out that says, is dynamic search ads going to work for me? And it's on our YouTube channel. We can talk about that in the description of this video too, but I'll show you in that video, I show you how to use Google Keyword Planner to see if DSA is actually going to work for you. So if you're not sure if a DSA campaign is going to work for you because your website content might be too sparse, look at that video, run the test using Google Keyword Planner by scanning your website, see what you're going to show up for in advance. And if you look at those keywords, you're like, yeah, this is not me at all, then DSA won't work for you. But if you have a website that does a pretty good job explaining your services, run DSA, run that Keyword Planner. Google can do a lot with little. Topical categories sometimes is the biggest thing that can drive the most relevant traffic. But setting up a DSA campaign, if you have those dynamic ad targets, I would definitely do that. And make sure that you're using categories, because categories is a really good way for Google to identify what type of search terms to look for. So setting up dynamic ad targets with categories rather than just web pages. Keep your all web pages. They do really, really well. But add separate categories so that you can define the descriptions about those dynamic ad targets, but also you can measure against them and then make adjustments or changes based on those. So if you're setting up your categories, like here we have categories for pain management, regional pain syndrome, chronic pain, stenosis, degenerative disc disease, minimally invasive spine surgery, radiofrequency ablation, lots of different different categories, and we treat them differently. Different cost per conversions, different amount of traffic.
And what is a category, John? Like how is that built from Google's perspective?
Yeah, it's actually Google will give you the categories that it's essentially scanning the page, and it's think of it like when you're building a custom audience. It says, hey, your website traffic that usually comes to your website are interested in these type of interests or in market segmentations. Same thing that categories work. They'll actually give you a list of categories that you can define that they will break out for you. And you can also build your own. You can build out a category, target specific web pages, and then have that be as a category, kind of like an ad group.
Sure. So I could take these 3 pages and say, hey, Google, here's the category that I want to focus on. And Google's going to say, okay, I think I understand what's going on here. Boom.
Exactly. And then you can measure against that and you say, hey, you know what, we just don't want to do degenerative disc disease anymore. Let's, we didn't spend that much. I mean, we spent $36 last month. But, we don't want that anymore. And then you can pause it. Or you can add it as a negative dynamic ad target. So this way you're just not going to be scanning those pages essentially.
And this client spends 10 grand a month, I think, right ish.
Yeah.
They've got 4 grand in DSA. So that's 40% of their campaign. I mean, that's
no, and that's it's not as small, but the reason why you run a DSA is because you can see these are all conversions here. And they are very broad. Like if you're going to do your own keyword research, I mean,
do gel injection for knee osteoarthritis.
Yeah, non-surgical knee relief, bulging disc neck treatment. And that's
stellate ganglion block for migraine. I don't know what any of those words mean.
Yeah, it's if you get a ganglion, it's stellated.
The ganglioplastis.
I mean, of course, it's going to block your migraine, right?
Yeah. You know what? Actually, that makes our job harder because we have to go in there and make sure the search terms are relevant.
I just thought it was a pack of ganglions, like crypt lines and bloodlines.
Hey. Anyway. Although there's somebody watching this video like who understands all this, and they're just like, God, these guys are stupid.
And I'll be like, you run the Google Ads page for them?
No. Yeah. We just watched like 4 or 5 prospects just now.
That was only though 2 impressions, so don't kill us too much. Okay?
Dude, well, look at that. 2 impressions and 1 conversion. Like that's, it's
$1.98 cost per conversion, so boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Hire us anyway. But that's the DSA is going to scan all of those. And I think that's what led us to build out the different types of campaigns is because yes, you're going to be showing up for your own who you are, dentist, doctor, whatever it is, but don't overlook the people Googling the symptoms. WebMD is huge because people say like my leg hurts and then they go on WebMD and they have cancer. That's how that flows, that they self-diagnose. So if you can insert yourself topically about being the person that can help for a specific ailment or a symptom that they're experiencing, you will get conversions. But make sure you have the right conversion action that allows that conversion to take place. And that's really important. Now I'll walk through this 2-step process. So in this,
I just gotta pause you because you just dropped like a huge value.
I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna explain it. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
So those symptoms, the keywords that we go after: back pain, sciatic pain, pain doctor, because they're looking for like, I have a pain, I need a doctor. Sciatic nerve pain. These are a lot of essentially symptoms. And we paused some over time and we have 64 of them. But don't overlook the very simple people Googling their symptoms. And when you get that top of funnel type of symptoms, where it's like pain in my back, okay, that's the very expensive keyword, right? You're going to have to make sure that you have the budget for that. But B, when you look at the conversions that come through with a 5% conversion rate, $90 cost per conversion in that campaign. But here's the point, is when you look at the conversion actions that are coming through, you'll see a very common theme. 26 chats, 21 chats, 13 chats. Their chats work really, really well, which is usually why I'm against counting a chat as a conversion. Because normally it's like, you chat in and it was like an okay one, kind of irrelevant. You don't want to count that as conversion. Their chats are really, really good. But that's because these people are looking for answers. So make sure you have the right conversion action. You can have the people Googling the symptoms, but unless they can reach out to someone and says, I have pain in my lower back, it's been hurting for 2 weeks. What do you think I should do? Can you help me? Is there anyone that can see me? Having that conversation, you're basically in a live setting. You're giving a free consultation via chat from people that came to your website. If it was like, well, you're gonna have to talk to the front office. Let me get your contact information. Let me get your insurance information. You're gonna have to schedule an appointment a week and a half out. That's what everyone else does.
Yeah.
But if you could be the person that says, hey, I'm here, I'm ready, what do you need? And let me know if I can help. That is where you can win in this area. People are trying to self-diagnose themselves on WebMD. They're trying to figure out what's going on with them. They're scared beyond imagine because they think back pain could have been 17 different things that any website told them that they have, and now they're nervous. I need to talk to someone today. If you're paying for that traffic and you're going to pay $4, $5, $6 per click, make that connection. Don't wait for a phone call. Don't necessarily wait for a form fill. Don't ask for too much on the form fill. Chats win here, and chats have won for years. This has been running with chats, I think, what was it, 5 years now?
Oh, they've been around longer than that.
Yeah, 6 or 7 years. So that's why we've counted chats, because I would say 80 to 90% of their chats are relevant. It's enough to count it inside of Google Ads as relevancy, as conversions, just like a phone call is. But that's the secret to this campaign, is make sure that you can be the one to answer those questions, because people are actively searching for why something hurts. If you can talk to them before anybody else can, you win.
So I'm going to pause there. I just want to go face to face here for a moment. Forgive me for stopping your screen sharing. But if you're watching this video, John just dropped 2 insane value bombs. The first one is you're going to focus on your service area, because that's what you know. Your customer doesn't necessarily know that the thing that you do is going to solve their problem. They just know their problem. So bid on your service area, but also bid on their problem. This is one of the few industries where that works. Like, as a Google Ads agency, I can't bid on somebody who says, I'm losing money. You know what I mean? Like, that's just way too broad. But it's one of the very few industries in the world where you can actually take their symptom and say, well, I have a diagnosis for that. So value bomb number 1. Value bomb number 2, I'm actually like almost saying maybe we shouldn't publish this video because this is just too good. But I mean, live chat, what percentage of their leads does live chat take up?
About 70%.
Goodness. Now, okay, so I'm the client, okay? John, I don't have the bandwidth, the manpower, the female power, the whatever. Like, we can't man a live chat. What do you say? What's the answer?
Well, what type of lead are you looking for?
Qualified lead.
For what surgery, or what type of procedure?
Pain management.
So you're looking for pain management.
Yeah.
And you have no way to fill a chat. Is someone able to answer 2 to 3 questions per day?
Sure. That seems easy.
Then just start with pain management first. Grow into the other areas. With Google, you can decide what leads you're looking to generate. You don't need the bulging disc and hernia and the back pain and neck pain and migraines and headaches and the ankles and the carpal tunnel. Just start with pain management first, or start with carpal tunnel first, or just start with headaches first. Start small, because that will grow into possibly all the other areas that you could service. You don't have to say, well, I don't have the manpower, but it's not all or nothing. Start small, work your way into only the leads you're looking to generate. Start with the most lucrative, easiest ones first. What pays you the most with a small amount of time? Generate those leads. That's what Google Ads is for.
Well, so I don't accept I don't have the people power, because
right, don't run traffic.
Don't run the traffic. Yeah, if this is what your customer wants. If you won't, your competitor will. And it's gotten so easy. Like, you can get your chat app on your phone. It's going straight to your phone. Have the receptionist do it. Hire an outside team. There are people that will actually field your chats for you, and they're actually really cost effective. So if we're telling you this is what works, it's the majority of their chats. It's the high quality chats. Like, take this value bomb and don't walk away thinking like, oh, darn, I can't do that. Figure that out. Because if you're the one that cracks the code, you're going to now have the successful account. So sorry I derailed, John. Let's keep going.
No, that's it. I would even say, though, and here's another one that I think is possibly overlooked, but in this industry, competitors are awesome. Dentists, chiropractors, naturopaths, anybody. I mean, even therapists. Anybody in the medical field, there's going to be someone looking for that person because of word of mouth, or because of.
Dude, some of those people are hemorrhaging, like, radio, television, newspaper, direct mail, door knockers. So if they're building their brand, building the awareness, and people go search for them, you can just scoop in and steal that traffic.
Absolutely. And that's what we see competitors. And we see that, for this one, they're pain management and laser spine clinics. And it's a higher cost per conversion at 122.
But they're right at the bottom of the funnel. That's somebody who's ready to buy.
But there's also 22 more leads this month because of that.
Yeah.
So my cost per conversion, and that's what's funny, is if you use a filter, you say campaigns, and the campaign here is all of them besides competitors. My cost per conversion went from 83 up to 91. Okay, so I'm paying $8 more per lead, but I'm getting 22 more leads. That's worth it. for this client. They said, yeah, that's absolutely worth it. So it's a little bit higher cost per lead, but you get, what was this? Yeah, 22 more leads from it. So, but the good part about this is competitors, it's not necessarily you're trying to steal the traffic. There's a lot of scenarios where I went to this doctor or I Googled this doctor and I went to their website. They're booked up a week in advance. The main doctor is on vacation. They don't take my insurance. They actually said that the person that does this, their anesthesiologist, is out for 2 months. Whatever reason, all of the reasons why they can't work with them would also possibly be a reason why they can work with you, and then make it easy. I went to this doctor. They couldn't help me because of A, B, and C. And they're chatting. Do you guys offer any help because of this? Yes, absolutely. What's your information? We'll give you a call and we'll schedule a time. So being easy to contact and also scooping up not only the people that were looking for your competitors by quote unquote stealing their traffic, but what was the reasons why that doctor couldn't help them and you possibly could. Choose your competitors wisely. Make sure they're one-to-one competitors. So if this doctor is a naturopath and you're a chiropractor, but that naturopath also does chiropractic, you're going to get people looking for, pro-low platelet therapy, all the stuff that you don't do, and you're going to pay for that traffic. So if you're a dentist, look for dentist. If you're a specialty dentist, look for specialty. If you're an emergency chiropractic. Try to find a one-to-one competitor. And because if they can work with their competitor, they'll work with you. That's the qualification. And then go after just those to start. Again, grow into it.
That's brilliant. Transitioning topics just a little bit. Is there any hope for remarketing at all? I mean, it's so narrow and shut down.
Sort of. So here's a ninja tactic, and it's a gold nugget if you stay to the end. So good on you for staying to the end. But here's what I would say that can work. So it's not necessarily 100% accurate, but there is hope. So I'm not going to share the client's name. It's going to be blurred out for this video. So I'm going to use our website. But you can go into custom audiences, which is in the section of audience manager. Go to custom audiences. And then click on this plus symbol here and call this, my own traffic. Just call it whatever, label it whatever you want. But use this if people search for any of these terms on Google, and then put your website URL here. And what this will do is Google will say, yes, we can identify people who have been to this site and we can target them. Ours, we have about anywhere between none and 100,000 weekly impressions, just depending on the channel. It's 0 possibly on YouTube, but 100,000 on display and 15,000 on search. It'll average itself out. That's how this works. For some reason, we have 100% male. I don't know why. Ages of 35 to 50 or 64. We work with more established brands on average. So yeah, that makes sense. That one probably not right. Don't pay attention too much to this. This is kind of just like its best estimate because this is not a real targeting scenario. But the reason why this works is because the Google bar at the top, and let me just do this here. I'm going to copy this. Write that there. But the reason why this works is because this is people who searched for any of these terms on Google. Well, the Google's homepage, when you type this here, is the same homepage, is the same bar as this. So these two are identical. So if you type a URL here, it shoots up there, which means if I reverse engineer, if I've been here, that's my search bar. So if you use that, type your own website in there, and then run a display traffic to this custom audience. And the custom audience is people who have been to your site. So try that. It's not 100% effective, but it's the closest we can get.
Dude, that's wicked ninja right there. And remarketing audiences aren't going to work just if you're not familiar, because Google is really sensitive to anything medically based. So we can't go out and say, we know your back hurts.
HIPAA blocks it. So
we can pixel those users though. If they land on the site, you can still create the audience. You just can't advertise to them. So couldn't you use that audience for RLSA?
Well, when you create the audience, it automatically disapproves that audience.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And you'll see, actually, let me share my screen again here. You'll see
I saw the policy violation.
Yeah. It's like, hey, good thing that you created it, and we immediately close it.
Yeah.
That's just not compatible.
I thought I was being sneaky. I was like, I have a ninja tactic, but of course you've already dismantled it. Do you know anybody? Have you ever met anybody that knows half what you know about Google Ads?
You.
You know what I want to do? I'm going to call it the Coliseum. I want to do like a once a month where anybody who wants to can step in and like battle you somehow, like a battle royale at the Google machine, and then we'll come up with like a prize. But it'll leave it like if they lose, they have to pay us money. Like, you gotta put skin in the game.
The $500 loser. So everyone chips in $250 and last man standing wins. I'll be Marcus Aurelius, so that's my only stipulation. I need to be Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah, you get to play that. Okay, cool. The father of Stoicism, isn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Y'all, if you're watching this, we're grateful to you and for you. I love the community that we're building, dude. It's unreal. I got somebody, my boy Bohan sent me a book.
I know, it's
Those
awesome.
for like $900 on eBay, the originals. And like, he just emailed me. He's like, hey man, I want to gift this to you. And he came from our YouTube channel. Like, it's so
amazing.
cool.
I love it.
Melissa and her request, you know, like everybody that's coming out, if you're watching, if you're commenting, if you're subscribing, like we get a real big kick out of it. We're just two dudes in our rooms, like, you know, sort of.
You know, it's so funny. I find it amazing. Like other agencies, like they won't even share their pricing with you until they're like validated who you are. We're like, I'll tell you everything we do.
Here's how we do everything. And then people are like, well, we still want to hire you.
So it works.
What a lesson in life that is.
Right. Yeah. Just be honest.
Yeah, I know.
Novel.
My mom was right the whole time.
My nun from 3rd grade that hit me with a stick was right.
So funny.
Cool. Good stuff.
If you're watching, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things. You don't have to, but we would like you if you did. And we will see you.
And drop in the comments if an immense amount of hair or completely bald is a better fashion.
That's the verses.
Right.
That's the image. That's the thumbnail.
It's gonna be like this, like touching heads like that.
Oh, wait, do it again.
Hey, thumbnail.
I'll make sure Jack knows that's the image to use.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Sounds good.